مستحيل لباذل بالجهد أتقن ما يريد، لا مستحيل لمن سعى يعطي إذا طلب المزيد، لا مستحيل.
Welcome back, my dear friends. This is Mr. Samukbal, the English teacher and the self-improvement coach. A new day is a new hope, a new experience, and definitely a new lesson. Today I'm going to share with you one of the most wonderful tips I do my best to apply to my presentations each time I talk to my audiences. But before I say the ball rolling, you know that we should start our episode with a couple of questions. When you do a presentation, do you feel that you get stuck in the middle of your speech and you don't know how to let your ideas overflow until the end of your presentation? Do you feel that your audience is extremely bored each time you talk in public? Don't worry about that. You're not the only one suffering over there. You know that each time I talk to my students and explain something to them, whether at schools, at colleges, or even at universities, I must make sure that I'm applying this great golden rule to my explanations. The rule is telling stories. Always remember, please, when you explain something, try to tell a story that helps your audiences relate themselves to their day-to-day experiences. One more time. Telling stories helps you relate your audiences to their day-to-day experiences. Why do you think so? Because people in general are so addicted to listening to short stories. So I think that you can kill two birds with one stone. Number one, you can make your presentation or your seminar, your lecture, whatever you want to call it, so interesting and very thrilling. Number two, you let your ideas overflow until the end of your speech. For example, one day I was explaining the difference in the comfort zone and the comfort zone to my students. And I told them that the people who live in the comfort zone are so afraid, narrow-minded, reactive, lazy, and they just celebrate their fake victory because they just have temporary joy. On the flip side, those people who live in the comfort zone, the comfort zone, they are so brave, open-minded, proactive, reactive, and they always enjoy their real victory permanently as much as possible. Why? Because they are so courageous and they are not afraid of any changes, and they know well how to get out of the comfort zone into comfort zone to live their life without any restrictions. So that's why they know well that success doesn't understand the language of dice. They must pay the price from their wealth, from their health, from their time, and so on and so forth. And then when I finished explaining the difference in the comfort zone and the comfort zone, I told my students a very touching story about an old man, almost 70-year-old man, who used to sit on the sidewalk. I witnessed the story myself. He didn't used to do anything except sitting on the sidewalk, just eating chips and some peanuts, in addition to just, horsing around here and there. You know that I was very curious about that old man. Directly, I went right away to my father just to ask him about the story of that guy, because he was very solicitous about him. Daddy, what's wrong about this guy? He told me, my dear son, that this guy was such a great, talented carpenter in the neighborhood, but one day he decided to spend most of his time in coffee shops, just, chatting with his peers, playing cards, gambling all the time. So, my dear son, this guy sowed nothing, so he reaped nothing. What succinct, awesome, touching words, he said. He sowed nothing, so he reaped nothing. He preferred the comfort zone to the comfort zone. That's why when he ate, no one paid any attention to him, even the closest members of his family. When I finished this story, most of my students, if not all, were so interested and very excited about the story, about the topic I was explaining, and telling that story helped me relate my audiences to their day-to-day experiences. Eventually, I'd like just to thank you wholeheartedly for listening very attentively to every single word I said. Hopefully, you will apply this to your presentations, your lectures, and your seminars in the future. Until then, I wish you a very wonderful, awesome, splendid, and magnificent weekend, full of love, full of passion, full of enthusiasm, and full of all kinds of positivity and ecstasy. Thank you so much. See you next time.
وبها سمت أسماؤنا نمضي وتبقى هنا أعمار سمت أسماؤنا نمضي وتبقى هنا.